Okay, welcome back into React with the Tunes Brothers, episode of 2 of this, I believe. We've got Dave and Louie. What's up, guys?
Not much. How's it going, Robbie?
Oh, well, to be honest, I got up like 10 minutes ago. I slept longer than I wanted to after work, and I'm struggling to keep my eyes from gooping up, but I'll get there.
Just spit in your hand and
Yeah. Louie.
Or get your wife to do it.
Oh, I'm going to get sick. All right. Well, I went to my mom's today and had some lunch, and she aggravated me, and that's why I don't go over too often. Then I came home. I was watching some YouTube videos and kept nodding off, and I said, let me go lay down and turn off the lights and take a nap. Let me set my alarm so I don't oversleep. And so that's pretty much how I done my stuff. And I did catch a video with Peter Criss talking to forget the guy's name, kind of a quick 2-minute interview about his upcoming album. And I gave the video a dislike because his comments are turned off. And when you turn off your comments, I'm going to dislike your video. So you hear that, people that have YouTube videos where you shut off the comments, I'm going to dislike your video because you're a thin-skinned pussy. Right? But anyway, so according to that, the interview, Peter sings and plays the drums, and they say his drumming is really awesome. So we got to wait and see. I figure that Peter puts his all into a song when they record it. Then he's got to go take a nap for 3 weeks. Then he comes back and does another song. Because I can't see that guy hold up to do a whole show.
Well, I'll tell you this much. If Peter says he's playing and singing, he is, unlike Ace Frehley. And Peter, like I said, he's genuine. I mean, he had his faults, but he's not going to bullshit you like Frehley. And Peter on his worst day has got to be better than Frehley on his best day nowadays. So I'm pessimistically enthusiastic. I don't know what the hell I'm trying to say. I'm very
cautiously
optimistic. There you go. That's what it is. See, I'm trying to wake up. I want this to be so good because I love Peter. I love Peter's voice. I don't expect, unbelievable drumming with his arthritis problems and being almost 80 years old. But man, I want this to be at least decent.
Ace said his album was going to be as good as his solo album, and did he lie?
Well, it's as good as his next solo albums before this one, but not his original. Yeah, he wasn't even close.
That's what he said.
I know.
Chris Cat #1 so far is his best release.
Yes.
That is for so long ago. So if this outdoes Chris Cat #1, then it'll be a really, really good album.
Hey, if it's as good, I'll be happy.
Yeah. And I hope that they not play the song so slow. I'm thinking of doing something, but I won't announce it here. And after it is complete, I'll boast and brag about it on our other show that we do.
That doesn't sound like you, Louis.
I don't want to.
Where's your shameless self-promotion?
Well, okay. I don't know. I don't want to give it because it might get blocked. That's why I don't want to announce anything. That's after I try to do it and put it up, then I will announce. I don't want to say something.
So now that the Morning Army got their daily kiss fix, which I know is so important to them.
I love it.
This is Louie's invention here today. What do you got going on? I can't even think of good fucking words. Never mind. I won't even say it. You know who I sound like.
What are you drinking?
Coffee, water, and brandy.
That's a wild
at the same
combination.
Not mixed. I got to keep my throat going. You can see I'm already hoarse, so I got coffee and water, and the brandy helps smooth the throat.
Okay. I just want to say one more thing as far as Peter's drumming. I figure with the amplification and everything else, he could drum lightly and a little bit of speed, but not too hard, and that'll make it sound great. But now to the subject at hand, to the Warning fans. Okay, this first video, a lot of you people have seen this. I've seen it, but I believe my two uppers have not seen it. And it's going to be Powell at 9 years old drumming. It is so cute, and you got to watch the whole thing to the very end. because I want you guys to have a nice smile on your face and enjoy what you're going to see.
All right, let's check out at 9. You said this one is?
Yeah, 9 years old.
All right.
You're on the phone with your girlfriend. She's upset. She's going off about something that you said. She doesn't get your humor like I do. I'm in the room. It's a typical Tuesday night. I'm listening to the kind of music she doesn't like, and she'll never know your story like I do. She wears short skirts, I wear t-shirts. She's cheer captain and I'm on the bleachers. Dreaming about the day when you wake up and find that what you're looking for has been here the whole time. If you can see that I'm the one who understands you, been here all along, so why can't you see you belong with me? Walking the streets with you in your worn-out jeans, I can't help thinking this is how it ought to be. Tapping on a park bench.
What is this song?
Taylor Swift.
You Belong to Me, Taylor Swift.
That explains it. All right.
Thinking to myself, hey, isn't this easy? And you've got a smile that could light up this whole town. I haven't seen it in a while since she brought you down. You say you're fine, I know you better than that. And what you're doing with a girl like that? She wears high heels, I wear sneakers. She's cheer captain and I'm on the bleachers. Dreaming about the day when you wake up and find that what you're looking for has been here the whole time. If you can see that I'm the one who understands you, been here all along, so why can't you see you belong with me? Stand by the reason that you're back for all the time. How could you not know, baby? Driving to my house in the middle of the night. I'm the one who makes you laugh when you know you're about to cry. I know your favorite songs and you tell me about your dreams. Think I know where you belong. Think I know it's with me. I'm the one who understands you. Been here all along, so why can't you see you belong with me? Stand by the reason that you're back for all this time. How could you not know, baby? You belong with
Hold up. Don't stop it yet. There, look at those hands.
Oh, okay. Whoops, that's not how we want to do things. There we go.
Still bashing
Pow,
the shit out of those things.
9 years old. Dave?
I could barely put a needle on a record at 9 years old. So I've tried drumming, and yeah, how you can do that at 9, I don't know.
Louis?
Well, I tried drumming myself. I'm pretty good with the hands, but I haven't never learned to coordinate my feet that well. And I could do some good stuff along with some songs and things. Let's put it this way. In desperation, if a band that played songs and I knew the songs needed a drummer, I could fit in and sit in, and hopefully we get through the set. And I could keep the beat, but I couldn't make anything impressive.
You could probably do lead
But
vocal at the same time
what
too, Luke.
she did outdoes anything. Not only I obviously could do, but outdoes so many other people. And I love the way, if you saw the foot cam, as like she's got bare feet, this little kid, and hitting on those pedals, and the way that the little mallets would go, it almost started looking like circles because it kept going like, whatever, like it's something spinning around on the mallets. You had that illusion because she was hitting them so fast.
Yeah,
She
I'm
still
not a
plays without
fan
shoes
of.
on.
Well, yeah, the no shoes on thing just looks uncomfortable, right?
Well,
On a
it
metal
was for us,
on
but I
a
guess
metal
he could
pedal.
take it. Yeah.
Yeah, I am not a fan of that setup that most people seem to be doing now. If you're playing double bass, get 2 bass drums in there. First, it looks good. It's like having single exhaust cars versus double exhaust. Whether the car's fast or not, from behind, it just looks cooler if there's 2 exhausts. If there's only one, it looks like something's missing. And
Yeah.
I see that when I'm watching drummers now, and you clearly can hear they're doing double bass, but there's 1 bass drum. I'm like, why? What are you saving space for? You got, in this case, she's got 4,000 toms and cymbals and another bass drum. It looks cooler. It's got to be more comfortable. And you would think versus having to share foot time with the hi-hat and the bass drum, you have, you could just be doing both bass drums. I don't know. I guess I don't think I could ever do that. Props off to her, because my other foot would want to be doing something.
I used to do the thing. My son had a drum set, and I used to mess around a little bit. It was to be my right leg would be on the bass drum, and my left foot would be on the hi-hat pedal. Yeah. And I had to be taught how to do that kind of thing going on.
Early on in my late teens, a few of us would get together and jam with grand aspirations of being rock stars, but no intention of really fucking putting the work on to actually do it. We just like to jam. Yeah. And I'd messed around on his Tama drum kit. Like Louis, I'm fine with both. I could do feet or hands, but I can't make them do different things at the same time. I can play the hell out of a guitar with this hand doing one thing and this hand doing the other. But on drums, for some reason, my foot would always want to follow what my hands were doing in the same timing. Drummers are incredible to me.
And then you throw singing into the mix as well. So
forget that. Forget that.
I can't switch up real chords on the fretboard of a guitar. So everything I used to play was just double stringing. I'd take my 2 fingers, I just double or triple string just to get that harmonic sound out of a guitar. That's the way I played.
Power chords are your friend, Louis.
Power chords are a beautiful thing.
Oh, that's what power chords are? When you just do the simple...
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
Finger thing across
it's a 2-finger chord where you pretty much hit all the strings at the same time.
Okay. Then I guess I'm pretty good at that.
Kiss made a living off of it. AC/DC made a living off of it. That's pretty much all classic rock and metal is power chords on steroids, minus the solos, of course. But
yeah,
this was interesting. I'll tell you though, and I kind of, like I said to Louis before we started rolling here, I sampled these long enough just to make sure that sound quality was good. It is drums to me are the most needed instrument to have instruments around you, if you follow what I'm saying. Isolated drums, unless they're mic'd in a professional recording, sound like noise. Especially the cymbals. When you start, it's just an ugly sound that doesn't come across on stage because you're getting the full sound of the other instruments. When you got a tape or CD or whatever they're doing, and then a live drum set, you could get away with that with a guitar, right? Guitars can be played alone and be music to someone's ears. Violins, pianos, bass even to an extent, but drums are pretty much meant to fill in and drive the groove. So listening to something like this is a little annoying to me, especially when she starts going to town on it, because it just is so overbearing. It's like someone just banging on a bunch of trash can lids. Kids, in the old days, trash cans were metal. You ever seen Oscar the Grouch? That's what trash cans were.
I'm going to say, that being said,
yeah,
at least when she plays loud, you can't hear Taylor Swift as much.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I was trying not to do it, but now you forced me. What a horrible song, right? Jesus, I wear high heels, you wear sneakers. This is the woman that we're supposed to think is the greatest musician, songwriter of our time. I
think she was voted in the top 20 guitarists.
Excuse me. She was saying, she wears high heels, I wear sneakers. She's comparing herself, a girlfriend that this guy had shit all over him, and she's trying to tell him, I'm the one in love with you, she's not. So that's what the song is all about.
Oh, and being the visionary and the poetic genius that she is, she brought footwear into the analogy. I see.
I didn't know Louis was the closet Taylor Swift fan.
Brilliant lyrical
lyrics as it was playing. That's all.
Hey, I don't listen to lyrics either. Everybody who's ever watched my reaction channels knows that. But like I said,
that's what really.
I don't know. You were having to go at Paul Stanley's lyrics the other day.
It's
because sometimes when the lyrics are way out in front of the music, you can't help it. I'm hearing Powell bang the crap out of everything. I'm hearing what sounds like a country song. And then all of a sudden someone's talking about high heels and sneakers, plain as day. I mean, it stands out. I'll get ripped for that too. Oh, you don't have any idea what she went through. She had to get high heels to outdo her nemesis. Get the hell out of my face with that crap. It's a stupid song. Powell did an amazing job from what I can tell. I'm not a drummer. I really couldn't hear the drumming on the song itself, but being Taylor Swift, I got to assume there was nothing special about the drumming. Yes, I know Taylor Swift's a guitar player, not a drummer. Shut up. You know, I figured it out. While I'm on a rant, which I promised myself I wouldn't do today. The brandy kicked in already. We're all bets are off. I figured out why Warning fans are nowhere near in the league of Kiss fans as far as normal, cool people. You all love these girls more than you love their music. So when you are invested in the people, whether it's, say you're in love with Brad Pitt as a person, you want to marry Brad Pitt, or you think Brad Pitt's your son, whatever, you're going to be less objective to any shit movie he may or may not put out, right? It's like the parents going to the recital or the school play and their kid is voice cracking, forgot a line, trips over a mic cord, and the parents don't see the humility here and the, oh my God, make this stop, right? They just, oh, it's so cute. That's Warning fans. They love these girls too much to admit faults and horrible songs like Sick. They just don't get it.
It's a good song.
You see, Kiss fans, we'll crap all over each member. Even if we love the members, we'll crap over the song because we have no vested interest. We didn't grow up watching Kiss grow up. They weren't kids when they started. They were grown-ass adults. So we had no fatherly look at them or uncle or whatever your excuse is. We didn't care about them as people per se. We cared about them as musicians and what they were bringing to us. And with that, you get more honest judgment and reactions than you would if you look at a band like they're your own children. That has to be the difference, that no Warning fans can admit how bad some of these songs are. It has to be.
I think the biggest difference when I was growing up with Kiss is you had no idea who they were.
Yeah.
These just mysterious people. Didn't know what they looked like. Didn't really know. And obviously we grew up in an era where there was no social media, so
so we got
knowing anything.
But even take the makeup away. Say you were a fan of Aerosmith, AC/DC, for that matter, Motley Crue, or whatever. It never entered our minds that they were people. They were rock stars. We didn't adore them for who they were as human beings. We didn't feel protective of their safety. They were just providing us music. And when the music wasn't up to par, we called them on it. Any band, any fan base. When a fan base starts with children, you're pulling for them, you're happy, then you're watching them progress, and you're pulling for them, and you're more happy. You got to becoming blind to faults is what I liken it to. True diehard Warning fans being like parents of the child. They don't want to see faults. They don't want to say you need to improve. They don't want to have any constructive criticism at all. Everything they do is the greatest thing in the world and gets put up on the refrigerator.
Well, I just want to point out that, number one, like people like us, we got into the Warning as a current band, and I think it was kind of nice that they recorded stuff so early on for us to see the growth and the development. And we all have different opinions as to what the best songs are and what the worst songs are. And Dave and I are always going to disagree with you, and we like Sick. Whether you like it or not is a different factor. And I just want to, but we just watched Pow drumming, 9 years old, and I thought the drumming was really good. I want you to see how young she was, and tiny. And when we get to the next video, you're going to see some. I think you're going to like the next one a little bit better as far as the drumming goes. That's my guess.
Well, and I didn't say I didn't like the drumming. It just, in this setting, all I could hear were cymbals. And to me, that's like nails on a chalkboard. That's why I like Rock and Roll from Led Zeppelin. Someone wanted me to react to that song. And I was like, that whole song starts all, it's just all cymbals. And I'm like, oh my God almighty. It's not Pow's fault. It's the song's fault. And it's the recording settings fault. Drums, for me, are made to be mic'd. And when they're not mic'd, they sound like garbage pails. Doom, doom, doom. They don't sound good when they're not mic'd.
I've never really been into drum solos as such. I like drum fills, and I think great drum fills in a song are great. I've never really been into this. Let's do a 6-minute drum solo. To me, it just drags on, and half the time it looks like they're not really playing anything in particular. It's just we'll just keep hitting until.
Same with the guitarist. I mean, I like a good guitar lick for about 45 seconds. I don't want a 5-minute guitar song that's just guitar. No. I just to each their own. But to me,
this thing we talked about with the Warning not having guitar solos. It's
right.
Danny can't do them. We know she can.
For me, this is just a bad setting because when the drums are over the music, it's already off. Even though the drumming was fine, it just the drums should never be drowning out the music, and that's no fault of this recording. There's no other way to do it to showcase her drumming. It's just bad for my ears.
I still think it should go over the top of Taylor Swift as loud as you can.
Yeah, right. She should have had Taylor Swift in her earphones, so all we heard was the drums, and that would have been a much, much better thing for me. All right, let me cue up the next one here. You said Pow at 10, right?
Yeah, 10-year-old Mexican drummer.
Okay, so this just says 10-year-old girl drummer Paulina from Mexico. My life would suck.
There you go.
Okay.
I believe that's the one.
Here we go.
So
let's hope it.
Just one more.
She looks older.
Said you never come back.
Okay. Does she have two snares side by side?
It
When
looks
she's
like it.
like, is there one here and here? Is that what I'm seeing? Can you see my mouse?
Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
Okay. Because when she's doing this to the cymbal, and then it looks like she comes over to the second tom to do the bump, but it sounds like a snare, and I can't see her sticks ever hitting the snare right under the hi-hat. So I'm wondering if that one in front of her is a snare as well. It's tripping me out because I'm hearing a snare and I don't see her hitting it. It's probably just the optics, but I just was curious.
He's probably brushing it, so it doesn't look like a direct hit.
Yeah.
Maybe I was stupid, telling you goodbye. Maybe I was wrong for trying to pick a fight. I know that I've got issues, but you're pretty messed up too. Either way, I found out I'm nothing without you. 'Cause we
Okay, so
I
the
think it was
overhead
just
the overhead cleared it up for me. It is one snare,
Well,
and
yeah.
the reason it was the vision from the other camera when she'd go over to hit the snare, the camera made it look like she was going past it. So yeah, the overhead cleared it up for me.
there you go.
being with you is so dysfunctional. I really shouldn't miss you, but I can't let you go. Yeah. Cause we
Now that crossover is insane, especially for a young girl. Granted, it's only cymbals, so you don't got to put a lot of pressure on it. But just, you know what would be me? I'd be smacking my knuckles together as I'm trying to.
I was just thinking that there'd be two sticks going toing.
My guess is I thought about this a couple of days ago, rewatching this, was I said their reaction is real. Mine is just watching this again. I think it's a trick that you learn to do, so you land the beat at a right timing with a little delay of your arms, so that everything just comes exactly where it's supposed to be instead of hesitating. The crossover takes some time, and you land the beat just at the right time for the song. That's my guess.
So in a sports analogy, kind of like the bat waggle, you're doing it to time your swing and get your weight right. I get it, but my coordination is so bad. I know, like Dave said, my sticks would clank into each other. They'd both go flying out the side, or I'd smack my knuckle.
Yeah.
It's impressive is what I'm basically trying to say. And a correction on my earlier last video, the double bass is two pedals. It's just two things. I thought it was somehow a timing on one pedal that would trigger both, but it is two pedals like you'd be playing double bass. So again, I don't know why you just don't go double bass. It looks cooler.
Footprint.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Keep it going. this. And that clap is so fucking cute.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, the moral of the story is the song still sucks, but what a fabulous performance, man. She starts to give some style points into her performance, where at 9 she was pretty much just laser focused on doing the job. You could tell here she's getting a little cocksure at 10 years old. Jesus, I can't even wrap my head around that.
Well, I got to say one thing. I don't think those songs we heard suck. In fact, if they were on your Women's of Music playlist, I would have had them in the upper half of the list. I think
you would.
Yeah, I think they're catchy little cute songs.
I'm sure Taylor
next time
Swift
I do my list, I'll have to put some Taylor Swift in there.
Oh, Jesus Christ, don't do that.
I'm not saying I'm a fan of either one of the girls. I'm just saying the songs themselves.
Either one? Who is this one?
Oh, that's a different person. I forget.
It sounds just like Taylor Swift from the song before.
Now, let me see if I can find out who it is. Well, all you guys talk.
Oh, it's horrible music, by the way. And I love pop music, but my God, this sounded just like the first video. The same singer, that same annoying, am I country or am I pop? What is that voice? It's such a dime a dozen, irritating and blasé. Sounds almost like Katie.
Pop music.
Kelly Clarkson.
Who?
It's Kelly Clarkson.
Who the hell is that?
She one of those
American Idol.
Yeah, that's it. She won
one of those musicians who never paid their dues and just got the luck of the draw. I see.
Yeah, but still, I don't think the song is so bad.
Well,
I think it's kind of cute.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
So
I want other people who may like those songs to not hate all three of us, or at least.
I thought Louis was the tough one.
Yeah. Usually you're the hard sell on the poppier stuff.
Hey, it all depends on who's doing it.
Nah. Because Pow's playing it, you like it better. Admit it. You fall in hook, line, and sinker for the Pow likes it, so I have to like it.
No, that's not it at all. That's not it at all.
Okay.
I just,
all right.
Like I said. So anyway,
now we go into the more serious warning.
Can I just say though, that second song was better than the first song.
It was definitely better than the first song, but
and the drumming was a whole lot better too.
Yeah, but that's
big
Pow.
Improvement.
That's Pow.
And at the end,
yes. Classic. Pow made the song better than it is, Dave. You need to go listen to that song on its own, and then you'll find out how horrible it is.
Oh, I know Kelly Clarkson quite well, but
really,
I mean, I don't personally, but
I mean, you know the music.
I don't even know who the hell it is, let alone what she sings.
My ex-wife liked her, so
now we're coming to one of my favorite reaction videos I ever did. So I have seen this. Louis threw this in just to make my day. This is from the Dakota Bar, The Warning, Runaway. Now, on another note, you sent over that you wanted to do that whole Queen of the Murder Scene album concert. In downloading it, quick sample, Emily's got still that cool punk hair. And I'm not a fan of mohawks and all that garbage punk stuff. She looks so awesome in this video we're about to watch. She pulls that hairdo off like no one I've ever seen before. She's amazingly animated. Her voice is loud and proud on the ooze. This alley got lost somewhere. And it's kind of reversed for me because usually you come out of your shell the longer you play. She's like went into a shell the longer she's played. She's still got moves, but she's not nearly as animated and energetic as she was at this age. And it's sad because at this age, she was the showstopper for me. Not Pow, not Danny. It was watching and listening to her. So kudos to Louis for bringing one of my favorite videos into this.
I haven't actually watched any of the Dakota Bar because we said we were going to do it. So I've just...
Yeah, this will be a real reaction for me. I've never watched that video.
Well, neither of you guys have watched it.
Yeah, so the reaction will be legit.
All right, here we go.
Say
haven isn't safe at all. The game they're playing slowly starts to fall. Nothing's good, but nothing's truly bad. Your only option's going down this path. We keep building all these walls and they love to see them fall. We were born to die, but you're not blinded by the light. You know what is wrong, what's right. You were born to survive. 'Cause you don't need no revelation. You'll be fine with being lost. You don't need their sweet salvation. You'll survive without their love. Run, run, run away, runaway child. If not from death, then run from life. Run, run, run away, runaway child. Escape the truth, destroy the lies. Don't worry about the others. Suicide lovers, take nothing from that fails. Run, run, run away, runaway child. Who you were and who they are.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, can you make the volume a little bit more, because it's not as, just
Well,
like
it's a quieter recording. Let me see if I
Oh.
can pump it up a little here.
just a little, not too much.
I've heard
Uh,
Danny and Powell both say that Ali is actually the pitch perfect one out of the lot.
Well, those oohs on the studio album can barely be heard. And that my first exposure to this song was this video. So when I listened to the album, I was waiting because I love that part. And I'm like, where the hell is it? And I had to put on headphones to actually hear it on the album. We're live. Ali makes that just plain as day. Looks like I'm cranked here, Louis, so you might have to turn your volume up during the performance.
Well, it's not for my sake; it's for the sake of the viewers when they watch.
It's just because it's a quieter recording, I'm assuming.
Okay,
But
then we'll have to live with
the
it.
recording output is as loud as I can turn it.
All right, then don't fret
All
about
right.
it.
There we go.
Safe haven isn't safe at all. The game they're playing slowly starts to fall. Nothing's good, but nothing's truly bad. When you make your choice, there'll be no going back. We keep building all these walls and they love to see them fall. We are born to die, but you're not blinded by the lies. You know what is good, what's right. You are born to survive. 'Cause you don't need no revelation. You'll Gracias.
Gracias.
Man, that bass playing. I tell you, I went through my stages. If this was Warning, we were stuck in a time, time little bubble that we couldn't get out of. Allie's my favorite. If we move forward to the Error version, Pow's my favorite. Anything past that, Danny's my favorite. But Allie, from the look, the combat boots, the almost Mad Max type outfit, that hair, her attitude, her basic charisma, she owned it. I mean, she was so confident and taking charge. Love seeing her like that, hearing her like that. And of course, Pow, way back on the drums, almost I would fall off. They'd have to come out, pick me up, and then goes back into it. Danny's one of those that reminds me when you go back this early and she's already got those evil expressions while she's singing, those really almost premeditated moves. It reminds me of, here you go, Warning fans, more irritation for you because you hate when I compare the Warning to Kiss, even though there's a million reasons to do it. They all became a different character when they put the makeup on and hit the stage, meaning none of those guys, maybe except for Ace, who pretty much just stumbled around life high and drunk anyway, Scott, but those guys are not like who you see them on stage. That's what Danny reminds me of. It's almost like when she puts that guitar on and gets in front of that mic, she becomes a completely different person, possessed almost. And it's just amazing that going back at this age, she was already showing signs of it. Now it's off the charts, but she's one that always had that rock star in her. And I think Allie did too, but somehow, I don't know if she became more civilized or more of a girl's girl versus a tomboy as she grew older, but she's become more refined almost versus this raw animal that I love seeing here. Amazing. What'd you guys think of the video? This is why I love this song so much, because this is the first time I heard it was this video.
What year was that?
I believe that was, let me pull it up.
2018, I think.
Yeah, I believe so, but I don't want to misquote because we'll get jumped on 100 times for it. Go ahead and talk. I'll find it.
So that would have made LA around 13 at the time.
13?
Mm.
Okay, let's see. History.
She's born in 2004, wasn't she? So
Wow, she looks older than 13 there.
I remember December 2004. So
Okay, Dakota Bar was January 8th, 19th, 2018. Danny 17, Powell 15, Allie 13.
Wow. She don't look it's like when you see Powell playing the drums at 10, she looks like she's 5 or 6. You got Allie here at 13, looks like she's at least 17.
Yeah. But see, you can see why this is almost a whole different song. And it carried into my ratings from the studio album rankings that we did, or competitions we did, track 1, 2, 3 against each other. Because this is, I can't help but hear this version, even though on the album it's a good version, but the extra vocals from Allie are so down in the mix. And when they're up in the mix, like I'm used to hearing them, it changes the song into something so much better. And then when you see it, which is a problem with Warning, Kiss, maybe Alice Cooper, some of these theatrical bands or bands that have high energy, if you've seen something live, it's hard to not go there in your mind when you're trying to rank the studio. It's almost not fair because you've seen it done on such an epic scale that it makes you think that studio version's better than it is. I don't even know what I'm saying.
well, seriously, with most of the Warning stuff, I find I like the live versions better than the studio versions.
Yeah, and most people
I like
do.
the studio versions, but the live versions just got this extra energy.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. These girls almost become different people on that stage versus getting up on the stage like, say, I don't know, Rolling Stones or some of these bands, Billy Joel, just your regular good musicians, good singers that just don't bring that energy. that energy matters so much more than people imagine. And so does your appearance. And I'm not saying if you're good looking or bad looking. I'm saying if you get up there with bracelets and chains and hole in the knee jeans and your hair's cool, you're going to be received better, even audibly, without even the audience realizing they're doing it, than someone who just gets up there in a t-shirt and jeans like they just got out of the crowd on open mic night.
And a butterfly shirt.
And a butterfly shirt. How about that?
Mm.
Look is so important. Energy is so important to the overall success of a band. It really is.
Before I go, Dave, you have anything else you want to add to the reaction of the video? Or you pretty much finished?
No, I was just saying, I think the song is just so much better live.
Okay.
I was looking back at our 3-album battle, and I didn't pick it. I'm sorry, I picked Z. But
well, for that round, yeah, Z is the song, you know. But my point of view of the video was I really enjoyed it. I liked the extra layer of the vocals with the other two members. Pow, you know, you can barely see what she's doing to a point. But what I really liked was two things. Number one, Danny moving her body around all over the place is still nailing that riff, you know, or hook or lick. I don't know the difference between those words. You know, just playing that and just flawlessly. And Allie, she was doing like early Gene Simmons from the Midnight Special or ABC in concert, with her legs going here and there, you know,
the big stomp,
and everything, and going down and coming back up. That's all classic, like Gene Simmons inspired, not Gene Simmons imitated, but Gene Simmons inspired movement on stage.
Absolutely.
So I really enjoyed watching that. That was fun to watch.
And how about the way Allie ends it with that bass? It's just amazing to me. The band is so gifted that I want to live pre Keep Me Fed warning, because even the songs I don't care for, I can respect. Now, I do like a handful of Keep Me Fed songs. I just hope they get back to this.
Yeah.
It's such a more raw, real rock sound versus a digital pop rock sound. I love this warning. And that's saying something, folks. This is their first true album. And if I'm at this show, I am a fan in 3 seconds without ever knowing a song, just because of what they're bringing me visually, with the energy they give, the love, the passion. It's amazing to me. I go back to it every time music's discussed. Visual means so much in rock music, not country, not jazz. In rock, it means a lot.
I want to get back to the second drum video we watched. That's the one when I said that Pal looks so cute, I wanted to pick her up, give her a hug, and put her back on her stool so she could drum more. That's what I mean about being cute like that.
Without a doubt.
Is the Dakota Bar actual bar?
Yes.
I'm surprised they were allowed in there.
Is it a Dakota or is it somewhere else?
It's not in Dakota, no. Must be in Mexico or something. Well, let me see if it says it in the description. Go ahead. Keep talking.
All right, Dave.
Keep going, Lou. Go on. I got stuff.
Geez. It's funny. I got nothing to really say at this time.
Promote your channel.
Well, you know, like I said in the earlier video, I wish they'd take those 3 albums and put them into a box set, you know, and then they would probably sell a hell of a lot of copies, because now that more people know about them,
I'm sure they will. You know, that's
like I say,
marketing will get hold of it.
You can't get one of their CDs for less than $60 on eBay. You know, that's
Dakota Bar is in Monterey.
So that is down where probably the same city they did that show we watched last week.
And to your point, Louis, if there's any Kiss influence in this band or Gene Simmons, they will remarket all of this stuff. They just need to put a phone call into Gene Simmons and say, how do I milk every penny out of everything I've ever done? He's got all the answers.
I mean, I'm sure I've heard them say they like Kiss, so
Yeah.
That was they said it was their first concert they went to.
I've
I don't know
seen
what
a video
tour.
or a picture where I think Danny's wearing a Kiss shirt. So yeah, but that don't mean nothing. You wear shirts you're given and all that stuff, but they covered
you wear-
God Gave Rock and Roll. So
So if
I
I send you a
think
Taylor Swift shirt, you'll wear it?
I
No.
think that they're casual Kiss fans that like some of their stuff. You know, that's the way I see it.
absolutely. I'm sure from their parents or whoever growing up, they heard it. They liked a few songs, but it's all right.
One day-
I don't think they,
one day we'll have
they
a-
even know how much they're paralleling Kiss with so many things. I think it's just a happy accident. I
Yeah.
really do.
Yeah, the
One,
way
one
that
day we'll have a bet, Rob, and you'll lose, and I'll say you have to wear a Taylor Swift shirt on the podcast.
Oh, for Christ's sake. I can't think of a
Hey,
worse
hey, hey.
punishment.
well, what's the bet?
Well, I don't know
There
yet.
ain't
I'll
no
think
bet
of
right
something.
now.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought that was a
All right.
topic.
I'll find one.
On to the next. We have the, what do you want to do first? The studio or the live?
Do the
Interesting.
studio version first.
Okay. Studio version is with Alyssa, right? Alyssa Carey. I don't know who this
Alyssa-
chick is. She
Elisa
looks
Cara.
pretty, she looks
So
pretty
she's-
hot on
She's a
some of the-
Canadian singer-songwriter.
okay. She looks hot. I don't
She
know.
has
if-
17 million monthly listeners on Spotify. So
what kind of music does she play?
I had it up earlier and I got rid of it.
Oh, it's not a big deal. I was just curious if she's pop, if she's hard rock, if what she is.
Well, this will be another honest reaction from me, and I think Rob.
No, I've seen it.
Who am I pointing to?
Well,
Well, this
That-
way.
that's
Am I
Dave.
pointing
That's
to
Dave.
Dave?
yep,
Don't cross swords.
Okay.
that's Dave.
All right.
But I reacted to this already on my other channel.
Okay, so I will be the one with the honest reaction.
What I haven't done, I have not seen the live one, so that'll be new to me.
Okay, well, both of these will be new to me.
All right, here we go. The reimagined, the correct way, Enter Sandman.
Yes.
Technical difficulties. Why wasn't it putting it up?
I don't know.
Couldn't get it up.
Oh,
Rob couldn't get it up, everyone.
Thank you. Why is this not playing? There we go. Okay.
keep. If I die before I wake, pray the Lord my soul to take.
Hush, little baby, don't say a word. And never mind that noise you heard. It's just the beast under your bed, in your closet, in your head. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. And never mind that noise you heard. It's just the beast under your bed, in your closet, in your head. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. And never mind that noise you heard. It's just the beast under your bed, in your closet, in your head. It's light in the night. Take my hand. We're off to Never, Neverland. We're off to Never, Neverland.
And what you didn't see after they cut off was Lars and James Hetfield curdled in the fetal position, questioning all their life choices because they just got whipped by four beautiful girls at their own game. Louis, new to you. What'd you think?
Well, the opening with them walking in slow motion triggered a memory of Wizards of Waverly Place when they had to go. It was a comedy on the Disney Channel, and it was Selena Gomez in the show. And I love when she's funny because when she's stupid, she's irritating. But when she's funny, she's funny. And they had they were dressed up with these cow astronaut type costumes to go on a mission, and they're doing that slow motion thing, the hair. And she's got a friend on the end on the side goes, "Do you have to do this in slow motion?" She goes, "Yeah, it looks cool that way."
I think it's all a playback to Reservoir Dogs because there was a UK version of Friends called Coupling where they were going to a funeral and the guys are all doing that and the girls cut and it pops them out of it. Really? You got to do Reservoir Dogs? So I've never seen that movie, but that must be where that started, that slow motion emotional walk.
I gotta say, Wizards of Waverly Place, but I gotta say, the song's uniqueness and so different is really something that you gotta sit up and take notice about. And I do like at the end they put the riff in that Metallica does in their own way, because I'm used to the riff in that song. I'm used to the hard-hitting riff, but the way they made it so gothic and spooky and scary was really an interesting and kind of fun thing to see and watch. I can't wait to hear the live version because I want to hear how different that's going to be. And I hope I do like the energy of the Metallica version, but this version is like so elaborate and so crafted in such a way that, it just like you could tell it took time. Say, let's do this and let's do that and all that, and lots of practice and rehearsal to get this fine final product.
Yeah, and I love Metallica's version. Don't get me wrong, but when I heard this, I'm like, oh my God, this is a game changer.
You'd be surprised to hear, Louis, 1 week.
1 week?
That's all it took, 1 week. So they had 1 week to actually redo this whole thing and get it sent off to
I
go on
should
the
have
album.
known better with the warning, the way they knock out songs and do things and write and everything else, that a week is probably, a while for them.
Hmm.
Maybe they could.
Yeah, this looks like it could have been a movie trailer for the newest Rob Zombie horror show. And who better to do the hush little baby, even with the quick ghostly head jerk at the beginning, than the most evil little girl on the planet, Pow. If and to the average non-warning person, it wouldn't think nothing of it. But we know with that sick, twisted mind of hers and that complete animal that comes out on the drums, it is the perfect choice to
And
do
Louis.
that eerie part.
and Evil Louis, who wrote those great additional lyrics for
Yeah,
Jolene.
right. I will say, in following the Kiss theme, Allie also made a mistake like Kiss and cut her hair. And hopefully she's learned from this mistake, because the Halle Berry does not work on her. Doesn't work on Halle Berry either. Big mistake. Glad to see your hair's back.
She does look gorgeous, though.
Well, she could come out bald and look gorgeous, but it's a bad haircut choice given her great hair. Why would you want to muffle or stifle that great head of hair she's got? Trial and error. Kiss made the same mistake.
Sometimes you just cut it back to get rid of all the dead ends and let it grow again.
Regrow it. Yep. All right. So we are on to the live version of this song. And I have not seen this. Louis has not seen this.
Nope.
Dave, have you watched it all the way through?
Of course,
All
you
right.
must have seen it 50 times by now.
This is how I saw it first.
So this is from the Pepsi Center, right? Yes.
Yep.
All right. Here we go. Hold on. Do they got a symphony on stage? Or is that backtrack?
Louis likes a good orchestra.
So do I. but that was unbelievable. Louis?
Okay. Now I get to compare to the previous video. The first one looked like The Warning was very good at playing well with others, with the other girls singing. But this one, Danny, the vocal is all the way through, owns it. The symphony is great. Kind of reminds me of one of the Kiss symphony songs, like Detroit Rock City or something. With that whatever going on. I have to go back and listen to that.
Before you continue, just another reason this band should be compared to Kiss. Alive for the Symphony.
And we're doing it positively, folks.
Yes.
Don't get it twisted. It's positive because we love Kiss. And for us to say we love The Warning the way we do is all complimentary or,
Yes.
whatever. The other thing is, what else was I going to say?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just had to throw that out there.
Yeah, it'll come back to me and say. So anyway, but my gripe about the second video we watched is I want to find something true live. This sounds like it was taped live, recorded, and remixed to give it that sound.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound
and you notice they had the whoa-ohs piped in.
Yeah, I think I'd like to find a real live video of that song.
And I think that was just giving props to that. What was her name?
Alicia Cara,
because that was her big vocal part. So I'm sure that was just to pay tribute to her.
And that's exactly what they said.
Okay.
Yeah, but like I said, so I did like the song. The video was cool, but another Kiss thing, like Kiss Alive 3, the album, is a taping from a show in Detroit, 1993, and you really should watch it because Paul's voice is smoother and not so raspy sounding. The energy's better, and it's like they should have just recorded that show and put it on an album. That would have been so much better.
I don't think any band really does that, right? Whether it's Frampton Comes Alive or Queen at what the hell was that famous one at Wembley? You're always, when it's going to be released to be played on radio, you're always going to edit it in the studio. Nobody's going to just put out a raw live performance. That's just my guess. This was doctored because they knew they were going to release this. And not doctored in a cheap way, like cheating way. I'm saying even Kiss, every band, when you're going to do a live album or a live performance video, first of all, most live performance videos are the studio track playing with snippets of the band kind of synced up from a live show. But a true made for TV or made for radio live performance is real, but they take it into the studio, and if there was somebody who missed a note or missed a vocal part or whatever, they overdub and clean it up and make it more polished so it's a better listening experience for the I want a raw sound. For most people just want perfection.
Yeah, I totally hear everything you're saying. But you got to watch that Kiss in Detroit Alive 3. I'll find out the exact title. And you're going to say it sounds better than Alive 3. It does. That's why they should have done that, a direct transfer to vinyl. And it would have been.
As far as this show with the Warnings concerned, Kiss recorded all their stuff and they started in the 70s. Nowadays with this technology, I'm guessing the Warning camp has most of these shows, whether it's a soundboard recording or otherwise, but I don't think we're ever going to be given what this sounded like without the polishing because it was made to be presented this way.
I'm going to look through YouTube and see if I find
it. You could find a fan cam or something, but then you're not really going to get a legitimate sound anyway with distortion and depending what speakers they're in front of and stuff like that. I would imagine it's still going to sound like a fan cam.
So I can only go on what I've heard, and a lot of people that were at that Pepsi Center concert said pretty much what you heard is what you heard there. Like most of the whatever magic they're doing is done on the mixing board at the place.
And I don't doubt that because Powers openly went through the entire time saying she runs a lot of the sound on her laptop right there at her drum set.
Yeah.
And Danny, to her credit, I wish they'd get to this is successful is a bad word, a state where they could afford, or maybe they could and they just choose not to. I'm not used to watching my bands manually pedal through their sounds on stage like she has to. And
I think she
God
likes
love,
to do it.
I know, I God love her for it, because she manages, unlike Ace Frehley, to keep singing while she's focusing on something else, Scott. And he don't even watch these, but I just like taking my
Doesn't
shot.
he? That's disgusting.
Yeah. But I feel bad for her because she's got to refocus every time when she's going through her changes, where, Aerosmith, Kiss, AC/DC, Motley Crue, these big, huge bands, there's a guy at a soundboard doing all that for them. That's what rehearsals for. That's what dress rehearsals are for. So they get all that timing down. And that's why, Scott, people go ahead like Kiss and have set lists established and don't just play off the cuff like you want to hear them, because so much of the show, from the sound to the lighting, is pre-prepared. You have to be on spot. You have to be on point for these guys, spotlight runners, whoever, to make the things happen that you see and hear. So Paul or Ace doesn't have to stop and push 3-foot pedals and all that stuff. And I'm sure Danny does like controlling it. I would just like to see her be the uncaged beast that she is without having to stop and do all that. I think it's unfair to her. But if she likes
think from the interview I saw with their sound engineers and stuff, they pretty much said they could do it. Power likes to do it.
I think, as far as Danny with the foot pedals and everything for the guitar, I think she wants to do it that way because I think it makes her feel more in control. That she doesn't want to rely on the soundboard people doing it. She says, I'm doing this. I'm making the change. I'm going from a distortion to a harmonic to or whatever, clear sound and all that.
You can even see sometimes on the videos, they're controlling their mics as well with the volume. So they're deciding how loud they're going to be. And
more power to them. If they'd rather do it, that's fine. I'm just used to the musicians not having to do it. But
and getting back to when you talked about Allie with her different haircuts and styles, that could be a combination of going through life, changing your hair, and management's probably saying something, and the two sisters saying something to her. You've done this hair, change it. Let's look different. You got whatever. Because Pow, open hair this way, dark, sometimes red, but never in any concert videos. You saw that picture. I said she's got that red hair going on, and then she's got it in bangs, and she's always changing up. Sometimes
girls especially, they are always changing their hairdo.
She wears a skirt when she's drumming, and sometimes she just wears the pants.
That's an interesting thing. I have noticed with this Keep Me Fed tour, whether it's red, white, whatever, they're uniformed, but it's the elegant look, right? I don't want that in my rock music. I love the Warning out there looking like tough girls. They always have that cool rock look to them, and now they're kind of out there like in evening wear on this tour. Whatever works for them. Kiss didn't always have outfits I liked either. But
it's funny. It's like we got like a lot of Spanish music radio stations on the FM out here, and I'm probably sure you guys do too, or whatever. In northern Midwest, whatever your area is called.
Not here.
But
not here either.
Oh, okay. Well, and I have these guys that worked, these Hispanic Mexican workers when I worked at a shopping mall. They were garage maintenance doing things. And every single song they would listen to on the little boombox radios was that. I'm like, that's all you know? Man, Mexican music bites. I'd rather hear a mariachi band.
It ain't even just Mexican, right?
American, yet unique songs that are so original is such a breath of fresh air.
I think it's a Spanish thing more than just a Mexican thing, because I'm with Puerto Ricans all day. And, one of the most annoying things when you're transporting people, my favorite cargo is inanimate objects that don't talk, breathe, cough, sniffle. But with people, Gen Z, probably the least self-aware generation ever, gets in a van and they all want to do their shorts and all their social media shit on their phone cranked to max volume, so everybody has to listen to that tinny speaker sound off their iPhone. Puerto Rican music, popular Puerto Rican music is as brutal as American. It's just in a different language. It's all that synth poppy crap you'd hear on Katy Perry, but Spanish vocals. So I just think that particular America's very distinct in their sound, even from Europe. I mean, even from UK stuff, although it's closer, it's very different in how they handle vocals and do not, for the most part, until you get into pop, overdo the sound effects. The Spanish stuff that I hear is ridiculous. It's like being at a rave or a nightclub with all the stupid filters and fuzzes and all that crap.
I wish I had a high voice to because like I'm trying to describe, it's like all in high pitch, like really high pitched thing. That's like every fucking song was sounding that way. Like, don't they have anything to bring to the table? I remember it was like maybe late 90s, early 2000s, I was hearing this shit.
It could be worse, because one of the dudes I have from Guam that I take, it's always, I pick him up at like 4 a.m. and instead of a phone, this guy carries around strapped over his shoulder a Bluetooth speaker, right? And it isn't quiet. I've had to crank my volume up in the van to drown him out to where he gets the point to turn it down. But it's all like island music, right? It sounds like Jamaican, hey man, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? I don't understand these other cultures with their music, but whatever.
Oh, I have a question to you, Rob. Since you're kind of like in the middle of the United States, see, I learned in California they have what they call Best Foods mayonnaise, but on the East Coast it's Hellman's, but it's the same exact mayonnaise. So do you have Best Foods where you're at, or Hellman's?
We have Hellman's, and
Okay.
but I buy Miracle Whip.
All right.
I like them. I like them both, but Miracle Whip's a little smoother, a little less tart for me. But
you know what? I figured out Miracle Whip really is. It's mayonnaise mixed with relish.
Yeah. It's basically the same thing, but it's a little lighter.
I think they strain the relish first, then they put it in, they run it through a blender, and then they.
Yeah. I wouldn't turn either one down. I like them both, but when I buy Miracle Whip. That's just because that's probably what I grew up on versus Hellman's. But
so do they have either one of those mayonnaise in your neck of the world there, Dave? Hellman's or Best Foods for mayonnaise?
No.
Okay.
Do they have Miracle Whip?
No.
What the hell do you put on stuff?
Do they have Duke's mayonnaise?
We have mayonnaise, but it's Kraft.
Kraft?
Oh,
okay.
Kraft. Okay.
Yeah, Kraft's a big thing. That's worldwide. We got that too. Yeah.
I think most of the reaction channels I've seen with food, Americans trying Aussie food, most of them say the Aussie food is much better than the American food.
As long as it's not seafood based, I believe it.
I always wonder
we do like our seafood here.
What an Aussie hamburger tastes like, because every time I watch the Power Rangers in New Zealand or whatever, those like, the hamburgers are so good, and everyone's dying to get a hamburger.
It's not.
I don't think it's any secret that our beef is better than American beef.
It's not kangaroo. It's not kangaroo.
Angus beef, yeah. You buy a lot of it. Well, you did, but you put the tariffs on.
Let me tell you about Angus beef. When I was married, my wife says, we got to get a deep freezer. And I said, okay, we'll put it in the basement, whatever. And then she went to, there's a butcher shop like 4 or 5 exits away from where we lived. And she went there, placed an order, got a quarter hind cow or something. That freaking meat it's all Angus beef, was so delicious and so wonderful. We forgot to take some out of the freezer to have for dinner. So my wife goes, go to the store and pick up a steak. And so I got the steak. It was kind of okay. So then we remember to thaw meat out. We had meat sitting in that freezer for 11 months that tasted as fresh as the day it was, we'll say, created, or
Well,
killed. And it
there's
was
no secret what goes on.
tender. And
America,
there's like a sweetness to it, but not a
yeah.
sugar sweetness. It's Angus beef is so above whiteface.
Well, even the Angus beef here, there's so much preservatives in American food, most of which, not to shed into politics, RFK is trying to weed out things that are allowed in our food and drinks that aren't allowed in Canada, right across the border, and most countries.
Well,
And it's all for the sake of preserving mass-produced stuff on shelves, but we're getting poisoned in the process, and food's losing its natural flavor. When I was a kid, and you got a loaf of bread or a carton of milk, you had like 2 days before that milk was curdling and the bread was molding. We buy a loaf of bread now, and it'll last a month with once opened even, and not a speck of mold on it. You can buy what's called Fairlife milk, and the expiration date from when you buy it's like 3 months later. That can't be healthy when you're talking about food that should go bad lasting months.
Yeah. Well, that's why you have to go to a butcher shop where they're going to get the cow fresh.
We got them. I'm just too damn lazy.
And then the whole thing was so nice because everything is wrapped up. You had, roast beef, steaks of different types and ribs and everything or whatever. I mean, it was just, the freezer was just filled. We had more than a year's worth of meat to eat for, like, at the time back in the 90s, like $400 for a whole year's worth of meat.
All right. So over under, warning army, those watching, who had money on the Toons brothers would talk not only warning, but kiss, mayonnaise, and Angus beef?
No scripts here.
Yeah, we are totally unscripted. We just say things. Like I only want to say this because I want to save it for the next video that we're going to do with the rest of the gang. That I have completely completed the Sleaze, Bees, and Rat face-off.
I haven't started.
I hope Scott gets a reality check and he doesn't do. See, I was trying because I know me, right? My first thought was I'm putting this up against Metallica because my logic to this, I discussed it with Darren when he was here last week. When I started this channel we're on now, it was me and Darren, and we tried to do our obscure late 80s, early 90s hair metal bands. But there is such a small amount of people who even care or know who they are that it failed bad. We were getting like 40 views per video. Wasn't even worth the time. So I thought, let's start pitting these bands we love that most people don't know against bands people will tune in to watch. So my first thing was, we haven't done Metallica yet. Giant band. But I knew there's no chance in hell I would pick a Metallica song over this album without even listening to either one, just because I hate, other than the Black Album, I hate Metallica. I hate speed metal in general. So I was being fair, and I picked a band I like in Rat. It has to have the tracks have to be equal. Yeah. And Scott, when I proposed the idea on our video last night, he's like, "Oh, it's not even gonna be a competition." I'm thinking, dude, I hope you're fair enough that just because you may love Rat or Out of the Cellar, that you're going to give this a real listen, because the Sleaze Bees are legit. Were legit.
The good thing for me is I don't really know either of them, so it will be honest. It will be whatever song I thought was better.
Yeah. I will say the things I have to say at the time of that video.
Right.
And I don't want to give anything away. But
if people prefer Rat over them, I get it. I'm just saying, I hope nobody goes into it thinking Rat's a major band that I love. I've never heard of these guys, so Rat wins.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I don't want to say anything about either band. Let's put it this way. It's positive, okay? But as far as Metallica goes, I like a lot of their songs, and I'm talking pre-Black and whatever. but I always preferred Megadeth a little bit more because Megadeth has a tendency to do the same kind of music, which makes me think that Dave Mustaine was a ghostwriter. Because after he left and whatever songs were left over, because after when the Black Album changed, everything after that was no longer a Metallica sound that people were, accustomed to. Megadeth gets straight to the point, and it doesn't have these long-winded instrumentals. Sometimes Metallica has a way of their instrumentals get so long and so far away and going into something else. I literally every single time I stopped listening a long time ago, but at the time I was listening, I'm like, what fucking song is this again? What am I listening to? Because that tangent gets so way out of whack, and then it comes back to the song like, okay, well, now I got to the point where I don't care what the song is anymore, But that was their thing, to do these long,
I love the Black Album. And if you listen to Dave Mustaine, he was a lot more responsible for those early Metallica albums than Metallica will admit.
Yeah,
now,
that's what I say.
We've learned in the Kiss camp, he said, she said, who's telling the truth? No one will ever know. Back then, I couldn't stand Metallica pre-Black. And when I must have been mid-teens when I discovered Megadeth, Peace Sells came out. And I bought Peace Sells and Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good. Is that one of them?
That's one of the earliest ones they released.
Yeah, I had two of those, and I liked them. Not a lot. I didn't love them, but they were more music and vocal based than Metallica or Slayer and these that were more just how fast can I play this power chord for 3 minutes with no vocals. So I always preferred Metallica or Megadeth.
One thing that Megadeth does is the opening part of For Whom the Bell Tolls before the singing starts. If they could find a way to get the rights to it and condense it, it is the coolest music I imagine for Kane and The Undertaker as a tag team coming out to that song with the beginning. You got to just listen to the first half of that song and just envision Kane in his red suit and The Undertaker in his original Undertaker garb coming down the ramp or on the walkway, whatever, to that fucking song. And when he gets to part was da 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 ba ba ba, and Kane goes like this down, and boom, those things come up on the side of the rings.
A visionary as always, Louis. Unfortunately, one's a politician and the other one's retired doing podcasts, both pushing 60. Yeah, good stuff. All right. Anything else? The warning related?
What will be? We should tell what our next video will be. It's one of the concerts coming up, right?
Dave, what do we got?
Yeah, it's the where is it? It's the full Lunario concert 2018.
So that is the one that covers the entire Queen of the Murder Scene album.
Yep.
And nothing else, just that album only?
I think there's some other things in there as well, but.
And it's one long video, or is it a bunch of playlists? Is it a playlist?
No, it's one long
video.
So going into this, gentlemen, have your colostomy bags or pee buckets. It's an 1.5-hour show without our ranting and talking. So we're looking at over a 2-hour video.
All right.
So
sounds good.
Next Saturday. All right. Anything else for the viewers? All right.
See you on Monday.
Monday.
The viewers.
What are we doing Monday?
Is it Sleazebees and Rat?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. See you Monday. See Warning Army if you don't watch our other videos, and shame on you if you don't. We will see you next Saturday. Until next time, thanks for watching.